3 days ago, I started a campaign called Get Ekua in the Room. What room, you may ask? So, 3 days ago on Sunday, I had gone to visit my parents, and on the way back, I was on the train and I just had this feeling. Let me just check. When is the 107 Days tour, which is Kamala Harris's book, coming to London? When is that happening? Because I just was thinking it's going to happen soon. I have seen on Instagram, I have seen she has gone live with that tour all around America, and I thought it's going to be hitting London soon. And to my surprise, I found out that the tour for London was booked for Thursday, the 23rd of October. And obviously, it was sold out. It was sold out. So let me just tell you, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get in the ring. But how? You know, I decided in that moment I was going to start a campaign called Get a Curate in the Room, and I was going to put it out on my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, and now live on YouTube. Normally I'd be doing a LinkedIn live, but the tech be teching, but that's okay. I'm coming here loud and proud to remind you of the power of visibility, of the power of not hearing no. So Kamala famously said, don't hear no, don't hear it can't be done. And she encouraged us to be visible leaders, even if we are the only one, because sometimes in situations, we don't see a lot of people that look like us, come from the same backgrounds, or have had the same experiences. And sometimes it can feel hard, it can feel difficult, it can feel lonely. And, we can want to give up. But I encourage us all not to give up. I encourage us all to find fellowship, to actually put ourselves out there in spaces and communities where we find like-minded people, where we are encouraged to flourish and to grow. So I launched this campaign 3 days ago, and I put it out on my socials, and I put it in WhatsApp groups. I put it out I contacted a journalist today who I met back in 2008 to find out if they had any ideas. I contacted my story writing coach to check if he had any ideas. I contacted Foils on the South Bank because I know that the book is going to be distributed by Foils, I think, for the book event, although it's actually been published by Simon and Schuster. So I did a lot of reaching out to my friends from the Founders for Kamala, because I campaigned openly for Kamala last year using my LinkedIn, Instagram, and joining the Founders for Kamala group, right? So I was all in it after I knew that she was definitely going for the top job, and that she was going to be hopefully the next president. Now, I did that in good faith, and as we know, that was not the result that we wanted. However, going and being part of that campaign led me to incredible experiences last year by going to Chicago and being part of the DNC last year. So last year I was able to reconnect with some of my history, because in 2008 I was an intern working at a non-profit voting rights organization called Fair Vote, where I was educating college students about civic participation and getting out the vote. Come, full story, I went back to the DNC in 2024 to catch up with those folks from Fair Vote. It was a new guard, but I still reconnected. And then my other group that I connected with whilst I was out there in 2008 was DC Vote. So if you don't know, the residents and the people that live and work and pay taxes in the District of Columbia, that's DC, that is Washington, DC, the capital of America, they are disenfranchised, so they don't have proper representation. And so there's a campaign group called DC Vote, and I became part of their community to volunteer, to lobby, and that is what took me to the Democratic Convention, the DNC, in 2008 to campaign on their behalf. And I had a fantastic time as a young woman out there. And, I wasn't actually sure this time I was going to get involved, because I wasn't sure who was going to be leading the ticket. And, I really wanted the right person to be leading. Anyhow, I went full steam ahead after Kamala announced that she was running and was participating and helping support others to, register, to understand why it's important, and to, stay close and stay in motion whilst the campaign was going ahead. And I had the absolute honor and privilege of meeting the Reverend Jesse Jackson on the last day of the convention whilst buying merchandise. If you don't know, Reverend Jesse Jackson is an absolute living legend. He is a civil rights hero, activist. He marched with Martin Luther King and Reverend Al Sharpton. And, he is someone who's literally changed history. He is someone who's been a visible leader, who's campaigned, who has really worked for systemic change. So that was absolutely incredible to meet him. And I know that it can feel tough out there when you might feel that the world has definitely changed and it feels a different place. And in some instances, it can feel challenging. It can feel lonely. It can feel like we have gone back to an era which we thought we had actually left behind. And here's the thing. All you can be certain of is change. And we all have the opportunity to decide how we feel about what's happening in the world today. Yes, it can feel like rough. It can feel, hurtful. It can feel like it's not a place that we want to exhibit, but on the other hand, it's also a place that shows us when we join in community, we can do great things together. I've been so heartened to see many groups in America and around the world, protesting and coming together on the issues and the topics that they care about. And my response to Kamala's loss was to actually start my own movement, which is to get paid to speak movement for diverse emerging speakers from all genders, backgrounds, and ethnicities to help them to get paid to speak. It's my mission to help 1 million diverse speakers to get paid to speak. So it is about sharing our perspective. It is about sharing our stories, our frameworks, our expertise, and all the good and amazing things that we have to offer in a way that solves a business problem, in a way that helps people to, reach outcomes that they're seeking. And so I set about going around asking and knocking on doors to find out how I could get in the room. And I have to say that I wasn't certain. I didn't know if I would be successful. But I wanted to say what did keep the faith. With every day, I was like, I'm going to keep at it until the last day, until there's no opportunity for me to get what I'm seeking. And it is that quote from Kamala that says, don't hear no. Don't hear it can't be done. You have the opportunity to be the first. And being the first is something that you might be over and over again, but it's an opportunity for you to find spaces and groups that support you, but also for you to forge ahead and to bring others along with you. And she's definitely given me that mentality, that go-getting, attitude, and just having someone who is so a self-advocate for taking up space, for being a visible leader, is something that is truly marvelous and wonderful. So I have some fantastic news. Oh gosh, the side. Yes, I have actually been successful in securing a ticket. So through the power of network, I have been successful in securing a ticket for Thursday. I'm going to be in the room. I'm going to be reporting from the South Bank Centre. I'm going to get a book. I'm going to take my book and see if I can get it to Kamala's team. Just so you know, in my book, Your Platform Power, which is all about being a visible leader and really learning how to package your amazing gifts and talents into a saleable talk. I talk about what I'm passionate about, and that is civic participation, getting people to register to vote for those people that they feel should be in power. I align myself to the Democratic Party, and I believe they should be in power. and I campaigned on behalf of Kamala. And Kamala is actually mentioned in my book. So I'm so super excited to take a copy of my book to the 107 Days tour to pass on to her team. But yes, the campaign has been successful. I'm so delighted that I kept the faith, and every day I kept telling myself, I'm going to be in the room, I'm going to be in the room. And so I've decided that rather than wear Kamala's t-shirt, that might be a little bit weird because, that will have the face of her being president, I'm going to wear my outfit from my cousin who has made this fabulous dress for me. So this is the dress I'm going to wear on Thursday, and I will be back on LinkedIn to share that as well. I'll probably pop on here as well to say that I've done it and it was amazing, and it was because of the power and testament of belief, of doing the things that felt uncomfortable, reaching out to some of my contacts which I haven't spoken to in a while, but holding that faith and keeping going until the last moment. And in 3 days, I've been successful in securing a ticket to be in the room for Kamala's 107 Days tour live in London. So thank you for all your support. Really appreciate that. And I just want you to know that, faith is the absence of things not seen. We have that belief, that courage, that asking for help, because I didn't do this alone. I want to repeat, I did not do this alone. I asked for help, I put it out there, and my network delivered and supported me and helped me to achieve this goal in just 3 days. So you can see what the power of belief, the power of action, and the power of putting yourself out there and doing the uncomfortable things. Because if I didn't message people, if I didn't knock on doors until the last moment, none of this would happen. And if I didn't even decide to actually decide that it was worth it, again, none of this would happen. I would have just been seeing on LinkedIn the pictures of people going, oh, I've seen Kamala, because I saw pictures of people saying, oh, I've seen Ketanji Brown, and who else was in town recently? Obama was also in town, but I didn't see any pictures of that, but Ketanji Brown definitely. So I have been successful. Thank you, everyone. I cannot wait to report live on Thursday. Remember, take action. It might be messy, it might be uncomfortable, but by putting yourself out there, by asking for help, you are more likely to be able to achieve your goals. Because remember, together we get further faster. And it's through the togetherness and the support of people rooting for me around the world that I've been able to accomplish this. People's thoughts and my energy combined together has created this magic. So thank you so much. Super excited to report on Thursday. Of course, be bold, be brave, be marvelous, back yourself, and of course, be a number one cheerleader. All right, take care and be well.